the table.
She comes by, like we're fully finished, and she was coming by to drop checks. And it's at this point, when I have been a server and a bartender. It's at that point where you're trying to sort out, like, how is this getting divided up and stuff. And you don't want to make assumptions, but at the same time, you need some clarity. So she comes by, and this is exactly what she said. She walked up to the table and she goes, "Okay, friends, lovers, I'm not sure." And I died, man. I could not stop laughing about that because
And then we leaned all the way into it.
Yeah, we made it so weird for her. And I thought it was hilarious.
And luckily she was a good sport because we were leaning into it just to mess with her a little bit, but like we were being nice about it. But we were leaning into the You're listening to Premeditated Opinions because yes, we thought about it and then we said it anyway. I'm Pamela.
And I'm Josh, and we are two people who somehow share a brain and decided to weaponize our brains with microphones. Each week, we unpack anything, from politics and religion to carpool dread and everything in between.
It would really help us a lot if you followed us on Instagram and YouTube. Giving us a like and a follow is probably the best thing your thumbs will do today.
We are not experts. We are just way too confident in our own opinions. With all that being said, let's get started. Well, hello there. We're at Pamela's house this time.
Yep.
Yeah, we're changing it up. You might also notice that we are going to look different this time. We have to use a slightly different camera setup, and I'm just going to call it what it is. We're using mobile devices, and it's not my thing. We normally use much better cameras than this. This is what we got. Roll with it. It won't be very often, and yeah, we'll make it up to you somehow.
But you know what? We're still here this week, so that's what's
so sexy.
important.
We're so hot.
We should still sound the same.
We do, yeah. We should sound the same for sure. We're using the same microphones and etc. But
you're just gonna see into my pores with your 4K iPad situation.
Yeah, it'll be fine. But anyway, so thank you for joining us. We are actually recording just after Valentine's Day, and so Krista and I never really did much for Valentine's like that. Just it wasn't on any sort of standard or principle or whatever. It was just like.
It's like just President's Day to you.
It's Arbor Day.
Yeah.
St.
You're
Patty's.
all hung up on Arbor Day.
It's a weird go-to punchline for me. And
that's like from episode 1.
Yeah.
I'm not an arborist. And you're like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was 25 episodes ago.
God.
So
that's pretty amazing.
So that means technically next week is our halfway through the year.
Wow. Yeah.
So we technically started recording in August, but we released our first episodes
in September.
Early September, the week of Labor Day or something. So September, October, November, December, January, February, 6 months in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, we did something consistently.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
6 months. We're still here. Y'all are still listening.
Yeah.
We still have great content dropping on Substack.
Yeah. And, like some fresh Madeline stuff coming up soon.
Oh,
which
that is
spicy. It is spicy.
Spicy.
You're gonna want to listen to that with headphones. Like that's
that
my
is
professional recommendation.
That is not a listen to this in the car with the kids
or anybody, unless it's actually Madeline.
It's like watching a rated R film with your parents and like a love scene comes on. That's how you're going to feel around others.
So I have done a decent amount of work travel over the last 10 years and been on many, many airplanes. And the amount of times I've been like watching a TV show or a movie that I'm not super familiar with, and then some big romantic scene comes on and it hangs around for a little while. And when I'm on my iPad, my go-to move is I'll just swipe down and dip my brightness all the way down as far as it'll go. Or I'll just skip past it if I don't think that it's important, especially if I'm If I'm in public like that, I try and be a little bit mindful.
Yeah. Well, Southwest movies, I think, cut that. Like a lot of that.
Yeah.
Because they'll say it's like modified.
Yeah.
And I think that there are times, and I don't have an example, but I think I've noticed where they probably cut certain scenes so that way you're not awkwardly sitting next to in the middle between two people who are like,
yeah, while you're watching 50 Shades of Grey. I'm like,
like, oh, we're all real comfortable now.
Yeah, I'm gonna need another drink to get through the rest of that. I definitely am sensitive to those kinds of things. I've been on flights before, especially international flights, where they have the TVs in the backs of the seats. Well, that's great, but when you're spicy scene comes on,
and you're sitting next to kids going to Disney World,
yeah, and you're just like, well, okay, sorry, mom and dad, like, it's gonna get weird. It's fine overall, but the other piece of it too is it's not just who you're sitting next to. If you have the screen in the back of the seat, it's everybody behind you that can see through the cracks in the seats. And so you can see all the different screens. Anyway, like I have a whole...
I was like, how did we get here from talking about Valentine's Day?
I don't know. So anyway, Valentine's Day. So so we had a good time, but I know you and Josh have a fun like V-Day tradition. Yeah. So tell us about that.
Okay, so I don't know what started it. One year I just wanted to go out. Like I don't know that I'd ever really gone out for Valentine's Day, had a nice dinner or any of that. So one year, this is probably over 10 years ago, I was like, let's be those people. Like, let's go out to eat. Well, of course.
I saw it coming.
5 minutes later.
Sorry, a dog messed up our mobile device that we're recording on.
Yeah. Thanks, Tucker.
It's high tech today, baby. Yeah. Anyway, so one year you were
okay,
like, let's do the thing.
Yeah. So, of course, I had this thought the day of Valentine's Day. And Louisville's a big foodie city. So, of course, everything was booked. A lot of the restaurants I wanted to try were booked. So we ended up at this restaurant. It's not open anymore, but it's called Avalon.
Okay.
And we happened to get in there, and they had chicken and waffles on the menu. And I was like, I'd never heard of that before. And I was like, wow, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
And it was blueberry waffles, and then it was a syrup. It was like a honey syrup with red pepper flakes in it, and it was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. So I was like, this is now like my favorite meal. So the next year, we were like, okay, next year, Valentine's Day, we'll go to Avalon. We'll get chicken and waffles. Them bitches took it off the menu. And then they acted like I was nuts. They're like, we've never had that before. And
That's a bad idea, ladies and gentlemen. Do not gaslight this woman.
Yeah. I was like, okay. So we left. I was like, nope, F this. Yeah. There's like... So we left, and we were like, okay, well, what do we do now? So, again, it's Valentine's Day. Everything's booked up. We just left this restaurant. So we ended up we walked down the street, and we ended up at this hookah bar called Cafe 360.
Okay.
And it was divey and gross. It was like sticky, like
yeah.
But it smelled really good because it was a hookah bar.
Yeah.
No one was in there. Not a soul. So
crazy on Valentine's Day.
But you know what they had?
Chicken and waffles?
Chicken and waffles. So we ordered our chicken and waffles. It wasn't the Avalon chicken and waffles, but we're like, okay, like we're having our chicken and waffles, and I was happy, and and then it just started becoming a thing. So we went the next year, specifically to Cafe 360 again, and got the chicken and waffles. And I don't know, it's like I don't know how many years. We did it like 2 or 3, and then we invited our friends Scott and Amy to join us.
Yeah.
So then it became a tradition of the 4 of us going specifically to Cafe 360 and getting chicken and waffles. Now, it's funny because 3 of us would order chicken and waffles like you're supposed to, and one of us would not. She shall remain nameless. But it was always like, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, and I mean, listen, this is not the best chicken and waffles you've ever had in your life, but it's just a tradition at this point. So, and weather in early February in Louisville is trash. So it was always like treacherous anytime like we would either go on Valentine's Day or we would go like the weekend closest to Valentine's Day. But trust me, Cafe 360 was never busy.
It didn't really matter.
Nope. And especially when the weather was bad. So a couple years go by, we're doing this every year. I think maybe there was 1 year that we skipped. And I think it was because the weather was so bad. But we did it every year. So then when we moved down here to Dallas, we moved in November. And so, Valentine's Day's a couple months later. And we were like, what are we going to do? What do we, how do we do this? So
chicken and waffles near me in Google.
Pretty much. So we did. And I'll tell you, it is very hard to find a dive bar around here, let alone a dive bar that serves chicken and waffles.
Yeah. Especially in this area.
Yes.
This is not where the divey places are.
No. And we really didn't want to go too far because we didn't know anything.
Yeah, you've been here 3 months at that point. It's overwhelming.
Yeah. So we ended up at Whistle Britches.
Oh, man. Whistlebridge, that is a fine choice.
Yeah.
Not divey, but delicious.
Yeah. So we went over there, the one in South Lake. We took the kids. So the kids were kind of a part of that year's tradition. But the funny thing is that Amy had asked for some recent pictures of us. And I didn't, she's always crafty and she's always doing like really thoughtful things. So I was like, what is she? So we sent her a picture of the 2 of us at a wedding that we were at that October. It was actually on my birthday. We were at a wedding on my birthday and then we moved the next weekend.
Wow.
So I sent her this picture of the 2 of us. Well, so on Valentine's Day, we're sitting there at Whistle Britches and we get texts from Scott and Amy. They're at Cafe 360.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they have a little frame picture of us at the table. So like we're there celebrating with them. Well, I had never paid attention to the fact that I guess the owner of Cafe 360 would like serve us.
Oh, wow.
Or like he remembered us over the years. Like I never paid attention. He comes up to the table and he's like, oh my God, what happened? And she's like, oh, they moved. And he goes, oh, thank God. I thought they died.
That is amazing. It's so thoughtful of Amy to do something like that. Like, I just love the whole idea behind it. And I totally see where this guy's coming from.
And I was like, that's hilarious. That is amazing. Like, and the fact that like he cared, he was just like, what happened?
Yeah. Well,
So we've stuck with the chicken and waffles on Valentine's Day. Last year, I wasn't feeling super great. So Josh made Eggo waffles and he cut them into hearts and with like chicken tenders or chicken nuggets. So that was our chicken and waffles last year.
Which is fun.
Yeah. So I appreciated that. And then this year, we were like, hey, like, why don't we hang out and go get chicken and waffles? And I think I had said, actually, I'd asked Chris, I'm like, so what do you guys do for Valentine's Day? And she's like, we don't really celebrate. Really. And I was like, okay, well, we do. I said, we don't do gifts. Like, it's not a gift exchange thing, like any of that. But we do try and find a dive bar with chicken and waffles. So this year, because we thought about this pretty late for this area. Yeah. We found, or you booked us a table at Ida Claire. And I have to, I always want to say I declare. I declare. Yeah. I declare. IDA.
And then Claire. CLAIRE.
Yeah. It's cute. It's super cute place.
Yeah,
it was
great.
So much fun. But it was you and Krista, me and Josh, and we brought Hot Mess Madeline with us.
And it was hilarious.
Yeah. First of all, their food is amazing.
It really is fantastic and reasonably priced, which I don't hate.
Everything. Yeah, it's yes. For a restaurant in the Dallas area, it is very reasonably priced. The food is delicious.
Yes.
I have not had anything there that I did not like.
Well, and I even tried something there this last time because Madeline wanted one specific appetizer, and it's not normally something I would reach for, but she was raving about it when it came, and so I had a bite, and then I had a lot more bites. It was
seafood fondue.
The seafood fondue. Holy smokes, man! Yeah. But yeah, so I declare as it's a go-to move of mine. I've taken many clients there.
How would you describe the atmosphere?
The atmosphere, that is tricky. It's kind of intentional Southern kitschy. Like they're leaning into some Southern stereotypes, but also
it's got a good vibe though.
Yeah,
it's got
great vibe.
It's got a very like modern, like cool vibe to it, but it's got amazing Southern food.
Yes. Yeah, the whole menu is like elevated Southern cooking.
Yeah, and it's got kind of low lighting, but it's also very like there was a whole section of like gorgeous bird cages hanging from the ceiling. Like it's not Cracker Barrel, all right?
No, not at all.
But it's like upscale, like super upscale, better than Cracker Barrel. Yeah. Like
well, and one of my favorite parts of the whole night was so we ended up being seated in this long booth. And and just I don't know, we just kind of defaulted to this. I don't think any of us really thought about it, but we put the women on one side, so the three of you were sitting on one side of the booth, and me and Josh were sitting on the other. And so it was Madeline, Krista, and you, and y'all looked very cute. Everyone was dressed very nice. We got a compliment from the floor manager at one point who stopped at the table and was like, I just want you guys to know that you're elevating the whole place. And I was like, wow, that's really sweet.
I was like, are we being loud? Right. Like, is that what she means? What are we? Or maybe, yeah, we're just adding to the upscale vibe.
I think so. And but what was really fantastic is I could tell our server, who did a great job.
She was so sweet.
She came by the table towards the end of the night, and it became obvious that she was really trying to figure out what the situation was at this table because, like, we're kind of sitting, by gender, and the women are all kind of goofing around sometimes. And so, as girls do, there's little bits of affection happening and things like that. That was all very harmless. But also I could see where somebody would see that and be like, what's the situation?
So here's the thing too. So like you and Chris are married, me and Josh are married. I'm the only one though that wears the wedding ring.
Right. Yeah.
Now, Josh and I also have infinity symbols tattooed on our ring fingers, but he wasn't wearing his that night. So you've got one person with a wedding ring, 4 without, 2 guys on one side, 3 girls on another.
Yeah.
And it's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And this sweet server is like, I don't know how to address the table.
She comes by, like we're fully finished, and she was coming by to drop checks. And it's at this point, when I have been a server and a bartender. It's at that point where you're trying to sort out, like, how is this getting divided up and stuff. And you don't want to make assumptions, but at the same time, you need some clarity. So she comes by, and this is exactly what she said. She walked up to the table and she goes, okay, friends, lovers, I'm not sure. And I died, man. I could not stop laughing about that because
and then we leaned all the way into it.
Yeah, we made it so weird for her. And I thought it was hilarious.
And luckily she was a good sport because we were leaning into it just to mess with her a little bit, but like we were being nice about it. But we were leaning into the how can we really confuse the hell out of her?
Yeah, well, and I took some mercy on her at one point because somebody made a comment about kids. And she goes, oh, how many kids do you have?
And we're like 7.
We're like, well, between all of us 7. And then we just kind of let it sit for a second. And she was like, Oh, wow. Okay. And then it was at this point where something in me decided to have mercy. And I was like, okay, so her and I are married, because Krista and I were sitting across from each other. So I said, her and I are married, and these two over here are married, and Madeline has 3 kids from a previous relationship. And she was like, oh, okay. But yeah, I just, I don't know. I didn't want to just totally confuse her, but it was hilarious. And it was a great time. And
Oh, no. Okay, so backing up to the beginning of the night. Mm-hmm. So you had made a reservation for 5. Mm-hmm. And so parking there can be a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I dropped all y'all off because we were running a couple minutes late. So I dropped all y'all off, and then I went and parked the car. And Josh waited for me outside the restaurant because our table wasn't ready. And so luckily I found a decent spot, and I'm walking up, and he goes, you were checking in, and something like the hostess. Yeah. You tell the story because I wasn't there.
So I walk up and I was like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I can't words. So we were checking in, and I walk up, do the usual spiel. Hey, Josh Miller, party of 5, blah, blah, blah. And she looks down, and she goes, okay, so 4, 5. And that's exactly how she said it. She misread the number at first, and then she figured out she misread the number, and then out loud, she was very confused and was just like, 5? Like, that's an odd number on Valentine's Day. Like, everyone should be paired. You know, that's usually how this goes. It was really funny. Her reaction was, yeah. It was awesome, man. I enjoyed that confusion too. And,
well, didn't Madeline say something?
Oh, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's completely possible.
Okay.
She might have made a joke about being the 5th wheel or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we ended up going.
Well, we were trying really hard not to make her feel like a 5th wheel too, which is also why we kind of played into the whole with the waitress or the server, with the server of, you know, kind of, well, what is the situation here? You know?
Right. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then we came back here and kind of leaned into our routine a little bit and busted out some games. And,
we played card games.
And then it eventually went to bed late. And then I actually had something going on this morning, so I slept like 2.5 hours. But it is fine.
I didn't realize that we were up that late.
No, it's okay. Well, because okay, so the other thing that I did this weekend, dear gentle viewer, is I actually smoked a brisket, but we're having it for dinner, and I have to start it the night before. So we get done playing card games and all this stuff, and I was like, oh, I have to like cook. And so I'm in the kitchen at like 1 a.m. trimming a brisket and stuff. And what's funny is when I actually had a good look at it, like later on in the day, I was like, ooh, I did a lousy job.
Oh no.
No, it's fine. It's going to be delicious. But anyway, that's not all that important. But we had a great night. It was fun. That was, I mean, without question, our favorite Valentine's Day ever. We just have not ever done anything. And I don't even really have much of a reason other than I probably got really cynical at some point about how this is just a holiday for greeting cards.
Yeah,
and blah, blah.
yeah.
You know, I was probably that curmudgeon.
I was like that for a while. Like, it was always just kind of nice to maybe like get some chocolates or, you know, flowers or something on the day. Just to acknowledge it, I guess.
Yeah.
But like, I was never big on Valentine's Day until now. And now it's like, it's like a do or die.
Right. Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you what has started to shift my whole perspective of it is if you have a 10-year-old daughter, which I do, she is going to care about Valentine's Day. At least mine does.
Yours, mine
doesn't. Yeah. Well, mine decided that it's very important.
Yeah.
And so, and she's a lovey little thing, and I love that about her. But man, we were going to have to at least acknowledge it, and so even though she wasn't with us at dinner or whatever, I made sure and made a fuss about it during the day. But anyway, it was a great night. I had a lot of fun, and I guess we're doing chicken and waffles now.
I was open to like changing the tradition, but I'm kind of, I don't know, it is a nod to back home too, because then we were taking pictures and sending them to Scott and Amy and back and forth. Like they're like, we found a new spot. So Cafe 360 ended up closing. They somehow made it through COVID and the pandemic. And then I don't know, like it's probably 2-ish years ago, maybe they closed down.
Yeah.
So that's sad. Like I hate that, like the areas that I grew up in are just falling apart. Like
that's hard to watch.
It is.
Yeah, I get that. And the area of North Texas that I grew up in has had a lot of that same transition. And I was actually just driving through. I don't remember why, but I was like in. Oh, it's because my daughter had a gymnastics meet in the city that I grew up in. On Friday, of all things. I won't go down that rabbit hole right now. Pamela and Josh and Krista have heard me rant about this forever, but for whatever reason, her club gymnastics team decided to have a meet on Friday. I don't get it. It's fine. It's behind me now. So I was driving through that area, and I was just noticing how much it had changed. So I am definitely with you.
Yeah.
And I think another reason that Valentine's Day felt like something fun to do is because it felt like the opposite of what was going on in so many current events right now.
Yeah, and who wasn't our Valentine this year was Pam Bondi.
Yeah. God. Okay, so we don't know what cross-section of our listeners, viewers, etc., keeps up with politics. I tend to make the assumption that I am more informed than the average person, and that's by design. I try to be more informed. It feels, at this phase of my life, it just feels responsible. And so,
well, honestly, in this climate, it feels, just with social justice becoming, very prominent in the last several years, women's rights and all this stuff's kind of kicking back up again. Like you had it like in the 60s and 70s, and then, the 80s and 90s were pretty chill. And now it's like, now we're fighting for rights again.
Right.
And it's like, I feel a responsibility for sure more now.
Yeah.
With the current climate. And we do try to keep it light. Like we want to keep the podcast light. We don't always want to talk doom and gloom and politics and this, that, and the other. Like, I don't think we like to talk about things just to cause an uproar or
be a part of the echo chamber.
Yeah. But listen, that hearing, and I'm sure some of y'all have already seen all the TikToks, memes, all the things, Facebook, and whatever about it. And if you haven't, count yourself lucky.
Yeah.
But I don't have words. Mm-hmm. I watched that hearing. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I got into it fairly early. And there is just like rules of decorum. There are codes of conduct that, most companies that we work for, employers, require that we uphold. Mm-hmm. Our kids in school have codes of conduct and, levels of respect that they are supposed to adhere to. I mean, I know it's debatable, but to see a grown woman in a congressional hearing talking to grown adults the way that she was, I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What is going on? Like, how is this being allowed? And then what the icing on the cake for me was not just that she was completely deflecting. Mm-hmm. She was attacking anyone who was asking her about the Epstein files, which is why they were there.
Yes.
The complete disregard of the survivors, the victims, however you want to call them, survivors of these traffic rings.
Yeah, but the Dow's above 50,000.
Don't.
God.
The chairman was given her space to act like this. Mm-hmm. And it was the whole thing was just a joke. And I knew it was going to be. From the last hearing that she had on, was it the same topic?
I think so. I honestly, I don't know off the top of my head. I don't want to speak too confidently, but I think so.
I don't know. She was in a hearing a couple months ago, and she did the same thing. Mm-hmm. And then Trump called her weak. And so this time she doubled down. Mm-hmm. Now, there were some really good moments, I thought were good moments, where they were calling her out on her behavior. They were calling her out on the fact that she was not answering questions. They were calling her out on her burn book that she was using. She had aides there who were literally like pulling stuff from senators' social media.
God.
And giving her index cards for, okay, when they start asking you about Epstein, attack them with this. Yeah. I'm like, I knew it was going to be a shit show. Yeah. I cannot believe that the chairman allowed that to continue.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the only thing I can think is that based on the president's current pardon history, that she basically is and or feels immune.
Yeah. She's banking on that pardon.
Yeah, because like if they hold her in contempt, Trump's just going to tell him to release her.
Right.
So she feels that she can just come in there and do and say whatever she wants, and she doesn't have to answer questions, and she can lie and she can whatever. And if she gets held in contempt, well, he's just gonna let me out. So I'm like, part of me was honestly frustrating the fact that we even bothered to hold a hearing and waste taxpayer money on it, because we knew that that she wasn't. I mean, she got away with not answering questions last time. Why would she not do the same this time?
Right. It's theatrics to the core. I mean, it's, and I've made this accusation about this administration anyway. Like, we're not really running a country right now as much as we're just producing television.
Yes,
that's a tremendous amount of what we're spending our time on.
Yes,
and we're doing it in these congressional hearings,
and we're paying for it.
Yeah. And what I'm starting to, and I hope more people, and y'all, we're not going to stay on this super long, don't worry, but I hope more people are beginning to realize that, like, we've got to have serious people who take their positions seriously running the government that is managing our lives. Like, I don't want theatrics on either side of the aisle, including the people I vote for. I do not want theatrics. And we talked a little bit a while back about the debate between Tallarico and Jasmine Crockett, and that to me, and again, I didn't go back and watch it, and I should, but everything that I read about it, everything you told me about it, was this is sort of two people who take their roles seriously, who are having a conversation, who are going to have some differences of idea, but they respected each other and they were on the same team overall.
They acted like adults with decorum.
Yeah.
It's really not that hard. Mm-hmm. Like, you are on a public platform, a public stage. I think one of the big concerns is, like, you've got teenagers, you've got young voters who are watching this. Yeah. You've got kids who could be, mom and dad could have this on, or whatever. Like, this is acceptable behavior. Yeah. Like, it's so juvenile.
Yes.
And they just get away with it. And I'm like, this is not being revolutionary. This is not how you buck the system. Mm-hmm. This is literally idiocracy.
Right. It's a shocking, staggering waste of time.
And the fact that it's almost the point, like, okay, well, if the administration, the government's not going to have codes of conduct, then, maybe we shouldn't require it in the workplace. Like, maybe we shouldn't require it in schools. Like, if it, that's pretty much where we're at this point, and it's embarrassing as a country, like, to see people acting like this and doubling down. And the thing that I think, one of the things that pisses me off the most, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about it, it's just that, what do I want to say? It's such a small percentage of supporters of this administration. Such a tiny percentage, but they are so loud.
Yes. Yeah.
They are so loud and they deflect, and they just the mental gymnastics they go through.
Yeah, the whataboutisms.
Yes, and just the conspiracy and all. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Well, and to that point with the conspiracy theories, one of the most prolific conspiracy theories of the last decade is Pizzagate. And for the uninitiated, that was this whole idea that Hillary Clinton was running some sort of child sex trafficking ring out of a pizza restaurant in New York. And so a guy decided to liberate the children, and he armed himself to the teeth, and he stormed into this pizza restaurant expecting to unearth this network infrastructure or whatever.
Child laundering.
Right, basically. and that got all this media attention and all this like energy spent around it. And now we have the actual Epstein files that are actual documentation from an actual predator who was inviting some of the most powerful people on this planet to participate with him. And it's, again, the mental gymnastics. It's the deflecting. It's the it's the why, like, let's move on from the Epstein files. Yes.
And it's like, no,
we're not going to do that.
That is not what you're doing. You are not holding child predators accountable. And you literally have those 1,000 victims who are sitting there. And it's that phrase of like, if we just believed women,
right,
we wouldn't be here.
Uh-huh.
But even 1,000, I mean, the Me Too movement took fewer people to take off. You have 1,000 people, 1,000 women who were children who are coming out. And there were some guys. There were some males.
There was a guy at the Congressional hearing. There was one.
Yeah. Who are standing up and saying, this happened to me. 1,000 voices. And it's, why are we still talking about the Epstein files?
Right.
And I'm like, and she's literally made me question if I want to change my name.
Yeah.
Luckily, I don't go by that nickname, so it's a little different. But I'm like, if Pam becomes the new Karen, I might be going by my middle name.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I
get it.
Don't put us in the same category. Don't put us in the same room.
I do wonder if it's starting to break through to a larger percentage of conservative voters who are now looking at this and going, well, this is kind of messed up. And I think it's starting on some level. It is.
So I follow Heather Cox Richardson.
Yes, and you should too.
You should too.
Shameless plug for Heather Cox Richardson. She posts on Instagram and Facebook, but her long form stuff she posts on Facebook.
Yes. So I've kind of done away with Facebook. It's taken me 20 years. But I've kind of moved on from it. But we do have our Premeditated Opinions page. So I am subscribed to Heather Cox Richardson.
Absolutely.
So that's every morning I read. So what she does, she does a long form letter most mornings. She'll take breaks every now and then, but it's basically, she is a professor.
Yes.
She's in Portland, Maine. She's a professor. She knows history like no one I've ever seen. But she basically gives you a diary detail of what was going on that day. So she writes these late at night.
Yeah.
And it's, whatever was going on that day. Sometimes she'll even just do like history lessons or, whatever happened that day is very reminiscent or, there's a parallel to a point in history. So she'll go through like, on this date and 1788, and she'll tell stories she's done like Abraham Lincoln, but she's like, one of her reasons for doing this, she even said the other day, she's like, this is not to create fear mongering. It's like, it's not to be a downer. She's like, I actually do have hope that like we will get through this season, and we'll be on the other side and things will be a lot better. Like she is very optimistic because she's like, these aren't necessarily things we haven't gone through before in this country. It's just not anyone alive necessarily has kind of been through some of this stuff before. So that always makes you feel a little bit better. It is just nice to have like almost like a diary of kind of what's going on in America right now.
It really is. She's kind of, that's a great way to put it actually, because the way that she documents current events definitely could be read as sort of a timeline.
Yeah.
And she's really good about combing through and getting to the important stuff. And I'll plug one more account. So you need a father. You need a father. That's uncomfortable. So you need to follow Heather Cox Richardson. And there's an Instagram account I follow, and I'll own that I have not looked for her on other platforms. She probably is on other platforms, but she's a former White House correspondent. Her name is Jessica Yellin, Yellin. And I have been a huge evangelist of hers over the last few years. She just does a great job, like Heather Cox Richardson, of cutting through the noise and be like, okay, yes, here are the big headlines, and some of it feels big and scary. Here's what you need to know. And that it's so helpful to have those kinds of voices around. And, I still watch some mainstream news for sure. I still listen to podcasts and stuff like that. But having people that can do some interpretation is really helpful. And for it to come from, in the case of Richardson, a university professor, and in the case of Jessica Yellin, a former White House correspondent. Yeah, like you've got some experience in the room that can help guide and shape what's happening. So anyway, follow those two accounts. We don't have to talk about Pam Bondi anymore. No, I hope we never have to ever again.
One thing though I do like about Heather's accounts though is on her Facebook posts, she'll usually put a comment that's like, "This is kind of big and heavy. Like, don't read it in the morning."
Yeah, she'll say this one's not. Don't read this before bed.
Don't read this before bed, or she'll say this one's okay, or this one's hopeful, or da 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 da. So I always appreciate that. Like, I'll sometimes just scroll to the comments and be like, "Am I gonna have a good day or not?"
Right.
Like. But I mean, some of it is a little slant. Like some of her takes are a little slanted, but I honestly think she comes from just a place of just common sense,
right? And
like what is actually something to be concerned about, what is something not to be concerned about. A lot of times it's never what you quite think it is. So she definitely doesn't lean into fear mongering, which I am not here for. Yeah. Like I don't want to be scared for nothing, but she is definitely somebody, like, I think we've used the term bellwether before.
Yes.
As far as like, okay, how is Heather reacting to this? Like, is this something we should be concerned about, or is it just more noise?
Yeah. Well, and thankfully we have some of those bellwethers available to us, because I don't know what I would do if the only sources I had for sort of news interpretation were just cable news networks or major broadcast TV or whatever.
Or because the White House.
Or the White House, God. But like I'm just not interested.
And I hate that. Okay. We need to be done. But I hate that the White House account is now a mockery.
Yes.
It is slop. It is trash. It is lies. It's misinterpretation. It's misinformation. Like, I hate that so many of these like prestigious institutions are now a joke.
Yeah. Yeah. We have just run it all the way into the ground. And what sucks is there's such an opportunity for them to have risen above all of this and to have sort of proven a lot of liberals wrong and been like, no, we know how to handle ourselves, and we can handle this. We can handle things the right way. We can communicate well. We can be serious about the work that we're doing. But they just decided to produce television, and all the social media accounts are just another element of that.
And they've just the doubling down on it is what really, I think, grinds my gears. In the words of Peter Griffin.
This is why we need things like vacations.
Uh-huh.
And we have been talking about some vacations. And so I'm just going to put my hand on the wheel and turn us towards happier talk. Only because I know that you and I could sit here for the next 4.5 hours.
I know. I'm already thinking through, like, he's probably got about 5 minutes of stuff he's going to edit out.
No. it'll be fine. We will be totally fine. But we had talked before we actually jumped on and started recording, and this is very common for us. We always kind of come in with a game plan, and we knew that we wanted to bring up the Pam Bondi stuff today. And so we literally had the conversation of, okay, how do we offset this?
Yep.
And so recently we have been talking about vacations.
Yeah.
And
out of the country.
Yeah, out of the country, and potentially one in June in the country. And so our families get along to the point where we actually can go out of town together and not kill each other, which is amazing. And so we've been kind of kicking around some ideas, and I was telling Pamela and Josh about this resort in Cancun that Krista and I have been to like 5 times called Excellence Playa Mujeres. It's very famous. I'm sure some of you have been there. It's one of the highest rated resorts in Cancun. And
if you've been there, let us know.
Yeah. Tips and tricks, please. I mean, I've been there a handful of times, but that doesn't mean I know everything. But it's
or let
fantastic.
us know if you're going to be there in June.
So are you? So are you more of a beach vacation, a mountains vacation, or just it doesn't matter vacation?
It doesn't matter. It depends. Like, I do tend to like to go to the mountains, like in the fall. I like a nice cozy cabin and a hot tub. In the summer and, spring, I do like more beach vacations, because it's like you kind of get that cabin fever in the winter. So it's like, okay, now I want the sunshine and the ocean and the sand. And most of our vacations are very low itinerary, unless it's like Disney World or, something like that. But we like to chill on the beach. Josh will tell you he could lay on the beach with a book 7 days straight. Probably sleep on the beach.
Yeah. Not even go to his room.
He loves the ocean and the sand and the sun. So, I mean, we're pretty chill. We do like getting away for the weekend. So y'all have the RV.
Yeah. We've got a 32-foot travel trailer.
Oh, that's right. I call it RV, but
it's still, I mean, the nomenclature all works, but the subcategory, we've got a 32-foot travel trailer, and for you RV nerds, it's a bumper pull, Grand Design, blah blah blah. But it's loads of fun. We bought it from some family. My aunt and uncle in California. Shout out to Scott and Creston. I know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we bought it from them. So it was funny. I actually went to California. I try to go to California at least once a year, twice if I can swing it. My last living grandparent is out there, and she's just the sweetest thing. And so I try hard to get in little bits of time with her where I can, because she's awesome. And so she lives with my aunt and uncle. I had flown out there. I had a block of time available. I had flown out there, was hanging out with them, and I had chatted up my uncle about RV stuff because I knew they had owned several. And I was like, well, hey, any advice for a rookie? I'm we're shopping, we're actively looking. What should we be looking for? And so the conversation was going great, and he kind of made the joke at one point. He's like, oh, maybe you should just buy ours from us. And I was like, well, what do you have? And are you actually looking to sell it? And so that started this whole conversation of what they owned. Then the next day, he actually took me out to see the trailer at the storage unit that they were using. And I took a video inside there and I sent it back to Krista, and I was like, this works. This works really well. In fact, this is bigger and nicer than what we've been shopping for.
Nice.
And so, they were so generous to us in the actual sales process. And what was handy was once I found a lender, because we did put some cash down, but then we took out a loan for the rest. When I found a lender, it was great because I just put everybody on the same email thread, me, the lender, Krista, and my aunt and uncle, and was like, hi, I'm the buyer, they are the seller. Tell us what we need to do. And within 72 hours, it's done.
Nice.
It was so simple. So we ended up purchasing the RV, and we've had it now almost 2 years, and it's been awesome. And we've done a lot of kind of longer form trips. We went to I guess not a lot. We've done some longer form trips. Like last summer, we took it all the way up to Voyageurs National Park in Minnesota. That was quite a drive. But really, between work schedules and kids and things like that, the best thing that we can do is kind of do like weekend or shorter form trips where we're not doing a ton of driving. And so we've discovered some spots around Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, even to some degree New Mexico, even though that's a longer drive. So like the Broken Bow area of Oklahoma, which is the southeast part of Oklahoma. I want to go there. It's gorgeous. And then kind of, so where Broken Bow is in that part of Oklahoma is actually the same forest. It's the Ouachita National Forest that bleeds over into Arkansas and Lake Ouachita State Park, which is a state park in Arkansas. Man, it is gorgeous. Like it's about a 4-hour drive from where we live. It's no big deal. Tons of cool stuff to do. And you're actually like super close to hot springs there. And so you could just pop over to hot springs if you want to. There's the city and then there's the actual hot springs.
You know what? I just thought we could go to the beach in the trailer.
Yeah.
Like we could go to the Gulf. I mean, I wouldn't do the Texas Gulf. But
so, okay. Yes. And there's actually one spot we know of in Texas that I would totally take it. It's called Mustang Island. It's south of Corpus Christi.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a drive.
It's down there.
Yeah, it's down there. But it's really, really cool. But you have to make reservations like way in advance. It's a little tricky to get into because it's popular. The only tricky part about taking any sort of RV to the beach is, boy, you get sand in every nook and cranny, and it just takes you months to get rid of it.
That's
but
true.
we've done it. It's fun. I really, really like it. So yeah, we'll explore some of that for sure. And then the trip that we have not done yet that I really want to do is we want to go to Big Bend National Park, which is southwest Texas, on the border with Mexico. And it's just, the photos that I've seen from friends of mine who have been there, it just makes it look like you're on another planet. Like it's unbelievable. And so, yeah, I want to go down there really bad. It's also a famous area. There's 2 cities down, well, cities is very generous, towns, Marfa and Terlingua. They're both down in that area, and they're incredible. It's a super artsy scene. It's a big food scene. The park itself, though, once you get in, you are secluded. And so, you're 45 minutes from a gas station. Okay. And so you have to be pretty intentional when you get in there about like supplies and things like that. But
no, that sounds great. Like I'm down. Like I'm ready to get out, and I like long weekend trips. And yeah, I love camping and RVing and glamping.
It's awesome. So Krista has very clear requirements for being outside. One of them is plumbing. She's going to need some variety of plumbing. Yeah. That's
fair.
Yeah. So that's part of why we actually looked into the RV, is because I really love camping and didn't want to always go by myself. That was part of the motivation. But then also, we live in the concrete jungle where we live in North Texas. And I wanted to show our kids that, hey, there's way more stuff out there, and it's beautiful and it's accessible. There's one more spot I meant to mention, Fredericksburg, which is the wine capital of Texas. Yeah. And we have been down there before, but not in the RV. We went down before we owned it. I would love to go back down there.
Yes, that sounds fun.
It would be really, really great. That would be a great like grown-ups trip. It is kid friendly. Don't get me wrong. Fredericksburg's very family friendly, but it's you're down there for the wine. You kind of you get roped up into the culture a smidge, and I wouldn't want my parenting to suffer because of the wine. But that's a great spot too. But we've got spring break coming up, and
in the summer we're shipping the kids. It just happens to be that our kids are all going to be in Kentucky around the same time on different trips.
Yep.
Which is interesting. So we're like, okay, where do we go? What do we do? Do we cruise? Do we go to SoCal? Do we do Excellence? Do we RV somewhere? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, so you guys are going to get to hear about our vacation shenanigans. Maybe we'll do some labs from some other places. Like, that'd be a lot of fun. Like, do some lives from the beach or do some lives. That's a great idea. We should do that. Yeah.
We've got fun like adventures coming up that I'm looking forward to. It's going to be a nice break from just the routine.
Yeah.
And hopefully.
And the chaos.
Yeah, yes, yeah, and the Pam Bondi of it all. But yeah, we are thrilled that you decided to join us again this week.
Yep.
We're going to continue trying to make content that makes you come back to us. And it won't always be Pam Bondi.
No.
We solemnly swear. I think if you listen to us for any length of time, you know that that's not the norm.
No,
we just felt like
just every
this
now and
feels
then
important.
it's like, listen.
Yeah, this is getting ridiculous, and so yeah.
And I don't like to pile on to everything that's going on, but there are just sometimes it's like, okay, we can't ignore
right. Yeah.
some of this. Like we are paying attention. Mm-hmm. We would probably talk about it a lot more.
Right.
But we don't want to. Like we don't want this to be just a politic. I mean, you can get politics anywhere.
Oh,
you can get true
loads of
crime
places.
anywhere.
Yep.
We want to be different.
Right. So we play card games,
Yeah.
which honestly I think is a great idea.
Yeah. And let us know what you think about those episodes. Like,
Yeah.
I think they're good, like, get to know us kind of thing. So, and kind of story time and things like that. So, and it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. I like that stuff a lot. Yeah. And it's just a different approach. I just don't know of anyone else that's doing it. And so that was a little bit of our motivation.
Niche.
Yeah, I think it's one of them for sure. But anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Again, as usual, please subscribe on YouTube. Find us on Substack, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We're on all the things. And it's so helpful to us if you follow us on those things. Feel free to comment, leave thoughts, messages. We have emails listed. Like there are ways to reach us. We would love feedback.
Absolutely.
And yeah, let us know what you're enjoying.
Do you want us to do this for another 26 episodes?
Right. Because if you don't, then, we'll stop. But
no,
anyway,
we won't.
No, we probably won't. But
we do this for us, not for y'all.
Right. Anyway, this is our creative outlet that we invited you to, so you're welcome. But anyway, we're so grateful that you joined us. Thank you so much for the time spent in your ear holes, and we'll be right back at you next Tuesday with more.
Well, that's it for Premeditated Opinions, where the thoughts were fully baked and only mildly regrettable. If you enjoyed today's episode, congrats on having truly excellent taste in podcasts and opinions. Following us on YouTube and Instagram is a quick and easy way to support us. So if you liked literally anything about today's episode, please like and subscribe.
Also, send this to someone who needs to feel seen, dragged, or both. We'll be back next week with more unsolicited insight and emotionally responsible spiraling. And until then, please stay hydrated and behave yourself in the comments. But if you don't, at least make us laugh.